InShalla. I hate that when it's in the way. And Ashe, blessings to you, my energetic beings. And here we are, the daily snippet. We're in this feeling frequency today, aligning our inner feelings with our outer feelings, kind of two wavelengths, if you will. The field of emotion, like pour love, peace, joy in your chalice. Feel the streams of these emotions, literally feeding your soul. And ritual is feeding the soul. It's food for the soul. There's no need to stuff your chalice with emotions, allowing those bubbling springs to birth new. Just journal, and you literally may feel the call to steam off an emotion, one that's possibly been under the rug, stewing for way too long, like a brewing cup of coffee or tea, getting bitter, but there's no need to allow it to simmer. Just coming back to our emotional center really starts the alignment. The moon is going to be streaming soon into Libra. So this balance and harmony kind of sets the stage for us to beacon into our inner peace, the waters of inner peace, bringing the sensations to a flow. And with that, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, a subtle energy surgeon, but I do go with the term holistic Sha'medium, which is and what I actually want to call this the spiritual hall of fame. But my intention is to utilize the power of indigenous ways and technologies into the elemental realms, our original blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic through the realms of the elementals, the elemental highway, the beings that are elemental, the imaginal realm, through the shamanic portal, the cosmos. It's kind of like the web and the weaver, the subtle energies, elements, and just really so much more with prescriptions and rituals and offerings to add to the juice of your personal container, your personal medicine, your inner genius, your prime directive, assisting you in navigating that inner genius that we all have, your personal medicine, the star that I truly believe we all are, the light, the source of who we are, just really reintroducing you to that magical essence, that being that resides within, so you do illuminate brighter your brilliance. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. So really the frequency of today is actually one of my very favorites. It's a regular frequency that I carry in my cosmic highway. It's innovating our feelings, and it's a little bit radical in delivery, even sometimes just aligning with the universe, this gravitational pull from the other world into this world and simultaneously the other direction, consistently streaming and having this heartfelt knowing of where I do or do not belong, whether it's people, places, events, situations that are really not in alignment with my soul's directive, my harmonic. So you may feel this way too with an aspect in your life, the world you're in, where you feel your heart resides somewhere else, maybe even just off grid. So it's this energy of expecting the unexpected, surprised, even disappointed, the breakdown that opens the door to that breakthrough, break on through to the other side. So it's kind of mandatory that we feel our feelings and align our heart with what it believes. It's like a heartfelt truth pours over the rim of our chalice, our heart space. And these unlimited possibilities of feeling behind, golden, juicy, naturally, an organic source of divine intervention, if you will. So whatever comes streaming in today, it's like, are you streaming in a new feeling? You may feel the element of surprise. So see if you're able to hold a new emotional tone, a frequency that you are able to feel different. And investing in yourself, your feeling state of awareness, invest in feeling good and gooder. You may be able to stream in more with less and do more with less, but tune into that frequency of what your heart authentically believes. And it really is time to detach from the failures of the past, the yesteryear, another lifetime, streaming in new connections that really elevate our emotional foundation, kind of like a spring, a bubbling spring runoff, or the ocean tides rising, and just knowing where one does belong and fitting in like an organic glove. It's just natural, where you have an influx of joy that may happen. Maybe you're overly optimistic in an emotional moment at that time. And if you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Authentically Heartfelt, please do. Once again, Tonya D. And go ahead and hit the bell button so you're notified And also, if you don't mind, comment or share. Besides getting a comment, a message for your day to get you on your way, it also assists with the algorithm and YouTube to echo me out to like-minded otherworldly musers like yourself in the galactic universe, who may also muse about the other world, the world of spirit, the world of nature, plants, source, otherworldly beings, elemental beings, and just so much more, thinking and seeing differently. But you can also find me on other social platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And of course, my Musing with Tonya D podcast, which is just out, The Divine Feminine, that was totally channeled. And if your soul wishes to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, source, spirit, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my digital library in the sky, a corridor where you have some amazing options to assist you and to guide you. I really am your shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer. Sometimes we just need somebody to show us the world differently through a new set of eyes. So with that, just a few announcements if you're new to your show. I should have gravitated a picture here, but I do what's called cowrie shell divinations and candomblé voice. Those are the beings of the other world, and these are one-on-one divinations inspired by the voices of the other world, the beings that are there, whether it's an ancestor, the keepers of the wild, the fae, source, spirit, etc. Really so much more. But just by connecting to the other realms, I then see where the adversity is. I give a prescription, the otherworldly kind. And also for the month of July, the season of July, as you probably already know, I have Soliciting Solitude is on the corridor. It's time to really solicit our inner solitude. It's a venue of meditations to get you started. If you're new, to take you down the path into the elementals, the subtle body, and so much more. It's an investment in yourself, you know, and that in itself is an investment in your own personal inner peace. But with the frequencies of today, I'm bringing in the Fae because it is another kind of, it's another worldly kind of day. So I'm super excited about this as well. So this just was channeled in. I pay attention to these feelings, but we've got a gnome, we have a beast, and we have a sprite, a fairy. So go ahead and comment your options. Comment what's calling out to you. Super fun. Sometimes I crack myself up. Hope I crack you up too. Okay, on the elemental highway, we have a Yin Earth Goat of a day, the greatest of all time, the goat. Very yin energy there, but our day has no metal. That would be the element I would actually ground into, refined or unrefined. It's community, the call of community, speaking our truths with integrity, decision-making, directions, managers, stuff like that. But we will have a fire direction. Actually, we're probably close to it right now, activating at the hour of the snake, which is the realm of our ancestors as well. It's fire, it's source, it's spirit, all of the spirits. And the hour of the dog, we're going to have what's called a fire trine. So the elementals are speaking of spiritual truths. And our day is excessive, where yesterday was solid. So it's excessively strong and it's actually too dry. By bringing in elemental metal and more water, we ensure continuity. We've got flow. We're enjoying the gifts of nobility, fame, and even success. Where yin water is actually more needed to balance and adjust the rhythm of these emotional frequencies, because our day may become just overly dry, burned up, parched, if you can feel that. It's like a desert with sand. I don't know. But metal is actually the most needed. Yin earth is that nurturing soil. It's fertile soil where different living creations sprout from the earth, meaning that people under this influence, this directive, this element, are very resourceful. They're creative. They're natural born nurturers, coaches, mothers. They're highly adaptive to their environment. And that's what allows them to make the most of what they have organically, no matter what life decides to dish out or throw at them. So they love to see things grow. This really gives them the highest pleasure and the treasure. It's the gift of being a cheerleader, cheering people on for their wins. It's like win-win situations, supporting the growth like soil for the grass and the trees, and providing resources for people to grow. So yin earth people are really prone also to allergies, which is normal due to the soil always having different forms of life within it. Herbs and organic substances are really the best for their bodies because of the organic live substances that are in that frequency. So specific when it comes to the quantity and the size of it. So strong yin earth, actually our day represents a big field, which can grow a lot of wood, a lot of nature, which means a variety, and also a variety of a lot of careers, a rich life, a relationship with life itself. But elemental, mental, and mineral, that's, the body needs minerals. I would say that as well. If this was a person, I would probably direct them energetically to liquid minerals, humic and fulvic acid, and water, more water, the mists of water. And the global god, or the year god of the day, is the communicator. It's also at its highest efficiency. So this is communication, as the word implies, communication, right? Excellent communicating, storytelling, persuasion, which even makes this energy perfect for selling, acting, writing, and just all kinds of other creative, artistic venues and skills and capabilities. You're going to find a lot of motivational speakers, best-selling authors have this gift, this super talent streaming in, and it can stream in through what's called the 10-year pillars as well. I just do the day for the show, but they're usually talented for all kinds of artistic activities, if you will, and they enjoy this, just the simple act of inspiring others and entertaining them and cheering them on. But the original talent of the communicator is the director, which I find funny. Tony Robbins actually has this gift, and he's great on the stage. Greta Garbo, Lance Armstrong, just to name a few, and actually Megyn Kelly, which I find also amazing. So with that, just know element, metal, is our choice for the day. Oh, did my little guy move over? Oh, it's okay. Okay, what did you choose? The fairy, Sprite, the beast, or the gnome? Waiting a few more comments, but all fairies appear at the threshold of what is and is what to be, like what is coming. And who doesn't love a beast? My first business was named Beauty and the Beast. I even had a little jingle made bringing the beast that resides inside of you out, the beauty. So with that, the first one I'm going to pull up is going to be the beast. So if you chose the beast, la 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 la. This is obviously the singer. You get a singer of the realms, but this is she of the crush. And I'm telling you, who does not love the singers of the realms? Literally. Similar to angels, the cantomblays, the keepers of the wild. Just all the sauce, genies. They transcend every religion, philosophy, creed. These are otherworldly beings. And angels, really angelic beings, they really have no religion as we know it. Their existence preceded time and space within every system of religion that's ever existed on Earth. But these are the great ones. They span the multiverses in all dimensions. And again, they have a variety of given names, and it really doesn't matter what we call them as long as we call upon them. And they just hope that we do that. But they are the singers of the underlying song, the rivers of the universe. And to all of us, to all of the other worlds, they really are the great ones. They are the otherworldly ones. And they show us in all their forms, humans, otherwise fairies, otherworldlies, even the elemental beings, what we have the potential to ultimately become. And they really help us to move into that direction. They comfort us when we fall off our path. They're always with us with their energy, compassion. They're just always available, just streaming in the juice. So I love it when I pull a singers for the day. But all we have to do is ask for their help. Just be aware of the events and the insights and kind of follow up on that request. But the she of the croche, the 5, the number 5, this is our mind. And our mind is a tool. It's often a trickster. It really kind of can fudge things up, if you know what I'm talking about. And our mind at the moment is in Mercury, its home sign, the critical degree of 29. So that means it's moving into Cancer. So feelings and our character, the character of our feelings in action as we communicate, be community, be in integrity, and communicating from a place of truth and also of love. So it's like feeling mindful, or are we congested in our thoughts? Are we muddling our thoughts in our mind? So the she of the croche, this is feminine energy, which is awesome. If you listen to my podcast this week, it's the receptive principle. It's nurturing, it's fertility. This is the great goddess, the many named mother of the all the goddesses, and their attributes and aspects of this energy. So her cup, the croche, is a chalice. It overflows with a bounty for everybody, but she's the yin energy of the universe, which is nurturing, compassionate, and wise. So she gives form and brings into manifestation, birthing anew, the will and the life force of the he of the fiery sword. So his is the intention, the action, the fire. Hers is the manifest reality. So from energy to matter in a way. And in a sense, she's holding all the worlds within her being, her essence, that bowl. And you can see this literally as a great bowl, like a tool for scrying, if you will, seeing into the past, the present, and even the future potentials. But it's filled with energy instead of water within it. So you can see the Tower of the Moon, a village, and little tiny other bits and pieces of our world. And if you were to drop something into it, like splash something into the water, these things would scatter out and literally become reality. So these archetypes are manifesting everywhere. But she's the woman, the feminine energy, who dreams her dreams. And those are the worlds and all of that which is inside of them. So all the particles, waves, the furniture, all the things, all the things, all the elementals. So you can see this energy being held lovingly in the palm of her hand of this great goddess, followed by this relaxation, the sigh of, and the release, the letting go. So she's the holder of all of our sorrows and all of our joys. And her chalice, her miraculous chalice, the croche, that's the womb of birth. In the cauldron of rebirth, the chalice of healing, the container holding these germinating seeds. And she is the body, the soul shrine that holds the spirit. And if you know me, I've got shrines everywhere. But it keeps it from being lost or dissipating in formless fog, in formlessness. So she is pattern and form in this abstract, but also in a specific and clarity within her is where we take form, we grow, we achieve, we have fulfillment, and then we let go of that form to move into the next phase of our essence, our beingness. So all of the universe, each individual particle, every being is actually cherished by her because she is like the nurturance of our soul, if you will. And her message is possibly just an indication of somebody maybe becoming pregnant, birthing something new. It's a time for nurturing, developing. And we do need to be open to her overflowing grace in that chalice, streams of grace even. And she may also indicate a need to allow her nurturing streams of grace to flow through us to others in the form of unconditional love and giving and just spiritual healing. So she's telling us of the need for unconditional receiving as well. Sometimes it's hard to receive the juice. We're just letting it pour over, or making the best of what we are offered, an attitude of gratitude. But she's also reminding us that unbounded love and grace streaming is ours. It's just waiting to be accepted. So the presence of this message is really radiating comfort and nurturing to all of our day, along with furthering of the messages throughout the day. The following messages, which here we got more. This is awesome. Dun, 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 dun. If you chose the fairy, you're getting juicy here. This is actually really super great. It's an awesome day. And being that it really is an otherworldly day, you just really can't make this shift up, right? And the one is our heart. It's who we are inside of us. It lights up our starlight. And this is unity. Unity is union. It's the mystical experience. It's our spiritual home. So unity comes first and it also comes last. But it's also the beginning of the singer of the realms. So again, in Christian theology, the angels are the messengers of the God. So here we may consider that they are, in a sense, the messengers of unity, which is the direct message streaming through those thread lines, and they receive the power of unity. So when we open ourselves up through prayer, meditation, or love to these singers, to this realm, we allow their essence to flow and stream through us. So in the in-between, we have this illusion of duality, which oftentimes we all believe is for a very, very, very long time. But this apparent duality is ultimately shown to be this illusion. And in an illusion, through it that we all need to pass through first. We need to go through, we need to learn as we go through it. And then once again, return to unity, to source, the oneness. So you too may have had mystical experiences where you've had to like true union, authentic union with other beings, or even with unity, the one who is it all. So these experiences change our lives, the mystical and the magical, just showing us that the saying that we are all one is not just a pious belief, but more of a statement of an actual fact, that we are not separate like the flowers in a field. We're all connected. We are one in the oneness. And the only way to reach this awareness, this authenticity, is to surrender the small everyday self to the larger spiritual self, which is actually unity, connected, and experiencing full oneness with this transformative wave. The unity wave is very transformative. It transforms. So when you look at this card, this image, can you see all the power that's focused in there? It really is power. It's got all these vast energies, these otherworldly energies. And it's as if all the power is looking for a place to happen, like to land. And that's exactly what's going on. So unity is this energy of the cosmos, still unmanifest energy, still without form to matter. So here we see the dark and the light, the masculine, the feminine, the active, the passive, and all these other polarities, but they're all expressed in balanced, energy-filled, vibrant union. All that is one, right? And that one is God or goddess. I'm going with the goddess. And it's principled expression expressed. It's frequenting. So from this is where everything else kind of comes from. It derives from. So this is source from which we can draw strength into our very essence, our being. But being that this message comes up today, it's really asking us to remember the mystical concepts that we really are all one. We're unified in this holistic universe, and it's reminding us to look at the needs and the goals that we have in common with the other and seeking cooperation, community and action, rather than attempting to do everything on our own. To get us into the flow, to achieve our goals, we really need the activation and cooperation of others. We need that to activate, to get that cooperation. We also need to be helpful to them and willing to work with their ideas as well as our own. It's like being in communion even. But it even suggests that we think of things in terms of equal partnerships rather than in lines of a hierarchical authority kind of thing, which sometimes our world does that, just saying, right? But unity also tells us that we have a lot to gain, a huge amount to gain, just remembering our own unity, our own wholeness, where there's resolution instead of inner conflict, which is necessary before we can move ahead, streaming through. But it's important, at this moment that we work towards cooperation and reconciliation, water, without and within ourselves, just seeking the highest good for everything involved, not merely our own idea of what we might perceive the highest good to be, and just asking for the divine energy of unity to permeate through us and to guide us, which is super juicy. So we've got two singers today, but doesn't end there. Don't worry, it's not another singer. We're going to finish up with the gnome, if you chose the gnome, which is, the gnomes are the earth spirits of the earth. But I've done this card before. This is undressing of a salad, number 31, which is the energy of our day, but in a juxtaposition. So it's like, what do you believe in your heart in the station of your beliefs? And when we are in alignment, heart's alignment with our beliefs, or even a belief alignment in our heart, so we authentically know where we do belong, what we belong doing, what we belong being, in order to be, do, and have. All that aligning and streaming in. But this one's part of the fairy guides and the guardians, which obviously we need. These are the little beings that devote their time and energy to really directly guiding humans as we develop our gifts, our talent, and our own natural magic, our own inner genius. And they assist us to become more authentically, being authentic like nature, who we already are, exploring all of our potentials, transcending limitations and fears, generally that we put on ourselves, but just discovering the joys of living and even being more in harmony with ourselves and nature, like going back to the origin, the original. So undressing of a salad is balance, avoiding the extremes, achieving the impossible, or being impossible. So two sides of the ball of wax there. But the dressing of a salad was literally the original, and then it changed into the undressing of a salad. So it was like this combination of these names because it shows these important aspects within the message. So if somebody's going to dress a salad, this is creating balance. It's got these different elements that are blended together to make a tasty salad dressing, right? But undressing of the salad requires remarkable skill, cleverness, and tact. You know, you might think it's impossible, but these little beings here with the balls, they're little magic fairy balls, balancing the balls, if you will, spinning them around. One is the fairy of doing the impossible things, and one is doing the impossible, and the fairy of avoiding those extremes. So all this sounds impossible, right? Well, of course it is. Most things like this are impossible, but they are they have intention, they're focused on the balance of all the things. And the large gnome in the center, he's finding this very amusing. He's looking in all directions, all pathways simultaneously, seeing the impossibility of keeping things that are in constant motion in balance all the time. So this is not just the juggling act of life, but the juggling act of the cosmos. And of course, we all fall out of balance. And of course, we occasionally drop a ball, or we may drop the ball. Sometimes we just drop the ball. But we just have to reinvent another ball. And sometimes it's just as impossible as undressing a salad. So there are times when we have to turn bad luck into good luck and vice versa. And that isn't always easy, especially if somebody is so determined to turn good luck into that bad luck. So everything is integrating and disintegrating at the same time, simultaneously. Confusion is sparking, but we still try to create the balance and put things in balance. So the whole universe, the cosmos, is hurling through space and time at an astonishing rate. So it's very difficult to keep balance on rapidly moving objects at the time. So especially if it appears to kind of break through unpredictably from time to time. So sooner or later, our little characters here, they're going to drop these balls, right? It's inevitable. There's even a little sulky little fellow. He's on the right side. He's clearly waiting to snatch one or two of those balls so that he can play in the game of life as well. But knowing that he's smart enough to realize that the old balls eventually wear out and new ones are going to be brought into play, just being ready to deal with this, right? The magic of change. And the balance changes it constantly, but it's still in balance, all the equilibrium. So knowing that undressing of the salad is otherworldly because it's returned, this is where imbalance occurs, confusion is happening. All of these lovely balls are going to fall to the floor, and we're going to discover that they're just uncooked eggs spinning around. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? But a sleight of hand may be happening, and I think this is the other world. This is actually our world, right? So things that appear to be so possibly are not, and vice versa. This is misdirection. It may be prevalent, attempts at over-controlling. That could actually be contributing to the situation, the problem. So somebody may be attempting unethical or unkind manipulations even. However, it is worth remembering that out of chaos, the breakdown to the breakthrough, that's where we create the miracles. And after all, we started out with, well, we didn't start out with unity, but we do have unity. We do have the divine mother goddess, the she of the crouch, with the chalice. Unity created the entire universe that way, which the one, again, is love, pouring streams of love to our chalice through our heart space, streaming in and staying connected. Knowing that we are connected to source. So it really is a day to be connected to spirit, spiritual love, spiritual feelings, believing in spirit, the source of it all, and our connection to the divine. Spirit is orchestrating today a divine reception, if you will. So you could use your sacral channel, the seed sound of Voom, for peace. You could go to water, get into the flow and the frequency of water. You could create a sigil with minerals and metals and things like that. That's kind of what I see. And I would affirm, or maybe that I am streaming and channeling spiritual beliefs, sparking what excites my heart and birthing that into life. It's going to feel different. It may feel awkward, but it's something definitely otherworldly. So it's a day to detach from what does not bring us spiritual joy and recalibrate an inner knowing, an inner feeling of knowing inside of us. Go with our feelings, streaming all the sauce in, actually. And I know there's a lot of stuff happening in the physical dimension, but the world of spirit is really being called. So, with that, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on the other side. Ashe and blessings.